Yeah, right. We just heard the woman, so that means it's recording now. Hi everyone. So I'm Marcus from Marcus Morris Personal Training, and I'm also a volunteer for Shine. Today I'm here with Josh and Lee, who are also volunteers from Shine. So lads, just introduce yourself and just tell them who you are and what you
do. So I'm Lee Blackledge. I'm an aircraft fitter, and I came to Shine about 18 months ago when all was not well with myself and the world, because the whole COVID thing kicked off. Massively struggled with it, and I've had anger issues pretty much all my adult life, and I decided to address them by going to Shine and doing some coaching with them.
What about you, Josh?
Well, I'm Josh. I don't really do anything at the minute. I'm just waiting to hear back off the Navy, hopefully getting in there. I came to Shine basically just because, like, since I was a kid, I've been really, really, really angry. I used to lose my mind, and nothing worked for me. Went everywhere. No mental health service really did anything for me. No tablets, no, any prescriptions, anything like that. But Shine, for some reason, it really clicked with me, and it completely changed my life around.
Yeah, brilliant. Hey, I suppose that's like testament to the work that they do then, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've already answered my first question anyway then. So like, we're going to ask like, what's your experience? But saying that then, following on, what would you say to someone who's struggling with their mental health?
I think for me, on a personal level, if someone's struggling with the mental health, it's understanding. They need to understand what's actually going on. Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't really think I had a problem, and it was just listening to other people, my friends and my family, that were telling me, like, you're not right, you seem really angry and stuff. You're kind of in denial, and you don't really want to reach out for help. So my advice would be, like, look at yourself. If something feels off, or you're not happy, or people are saying something, then try and take note, because maybe there's something there underlying that you might not know about. And for me, there is help out there, because I didn't think there was any help, but there is help out there. And the sooner you can start talking about it is the first step to understanding it. And the more you talk about it, the more you can address it and focus on it.
Yeah. Josh?
Really, I just say, like what Lee said, you've just got to be open with yourself, better accept that, if you can see it, you've got to be able to see what's wrong with you first. Fortunately for myself, I know the thoughts that were going through my head were not right at all. So that's why I've known since such a young age that, I needed to really get with mental health services, because, but I think as long as you can sort of know yourself that there's definitely something to work on, at least you're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because, we as men, we don't really want to talk about it. I think there's a stereotype against men, from how you're brought up, and, like, especially from my generation, because I'm knocking on. Well, I am in my 40s now. I am in my 40s now. So my generation, it's like, oh, you don't talk about that. You don't talk about your feelings, and you keep it to yourself, which is everything wrong about it. But from what I've learned, the more you talk about it, the more you can be honest with yourself and other people. That's when you can really start to make some changes and actually be honest with yourself, and it's actually okay to not be okay, and it's the stage of reaching out, I think. So yeah,
definitely. Just one point I'd want to add on to that is just exercise, and starting with some small steps. Like even if you're only doing like 5 press-ups a day or something like that, and then maybe you can build on those 5 press-ups and do 10 and then do 15 or something like that. And maybe that gets you the confidence to take bigger steps or something like that. I've found that similar things can work for certain people. And I think that's like a big thing as well, because like at the minute, like not at the minute, but last year with COVID and lockdown and stuff like that, like, at first I hated home workouts. Like, like it might be a bit contradictory to what everyone thinks, but like being a PT and that, but I hated home workouts, and then I just kind of had to like force myself to like them, and it would just take with that mindset of like taking small steps as well and easing myself into it. Go on.
I can totally understand that, you know, because I get it when I walk my dog. So when the whole COVID thing kicked off, we were even reduced to how many times you could go out a day, and tried my best to do that, but it's difficult. But like I said, once the lockdown started to ease and you could do a bit more, I felt loads better just getting out and about, just like being in the countryside, just sitting down, walking the dog, just taking it in. You know, it's crazy how much like just physical exercise can actually help how you feel and how you look at things as well.
Yeah. At first, like I hated it because I like lifting big, like, well, not big to a lot of people, but like to me, like I like lifting heavy weights and stuff and like pushing myself. And for that, like people were kind of saying like, oh, well, if you like doing bench press, just do press ups. And if you've got an 80-kilo bench press, you can't really replicate that with a few press ups. It just doesn't carry over. It's not the same. And it doesn't quite work. So I really struggled with that aspect as well at first. But saying that, right, so something that I did want to ask was, Josh, right, so you're training for the Navy at the minute.
Yeah.
And when you started noticing your sort of like fitness and your strength and stuff like that improving because you were training for it and stuff, how did that feel?
Oh, it made me feel amazing. It was probably the first time in my life I actually felt good about myself, you know, because as soon as like when I first got into running, I had 3 songs on my playlist, and I'd walk for 2 of them and I'd run for the 3rd one. I did that for a week, and I swapped up to 5 songs and ran for 2 songs. So walk for 2, ran for 2, walk for another one, and I carried on doing that. And then about 3 months into it, constantly adding more songs to the playlist and changing it. And now I can probably run for about half an hour without stopping. And that's what really did it for me. Like, I like the gym and all, but the thing is like, I still get a bit socially anxious, so I have to make sure I'm going to the gym when no one else is about, even though, you know, it's not like I'm useless in there. I just, you know, but that's one more thing I've got to overcome. But obviously, if I get into my basic, I won't have a choice in that. I'll just have to get over it.
Yeah. Like, I get that though, because I'm like, although I'm quite confident and I like feel comfortable in the gym, like I still wouldn't really want to be there when there's loads of people, or wouldn't want to necessarily be training with loads of people. Like, I don't like doing group sessions because but so what sort of stuff have you done then?
Basically, I did some strength training with PT. That basically just all different rows and presses and things like that. And just hack squats, leg press, you know, to get myself into everything. And then obviously just my running. And then I bought myself some weights, a bench and everything. I do everything from home really now. I still do go to the gym from time to time, but whereas rather than going 3-4 times a week now, I might go 2 times a week. So because I do rest a bit while I'm sat at home.
Yeah. Sounds like you've done really well, and you really started off with them baby steps, and you've just grown into it. And
at first I couldn't even. I thought I would do press ups properly. I could do like 10, 20, and I thought, oh yes. I told my recruitment officer, oh yeah, I can do press ups. I can do about 20. And then I looked online to see how to actually do a press up, because I thought, I'm surely not doing this right. I tried to do a proper press up, and I think I collapsed after 3 of them. I couldn't hack it at all. So that's when I started going for PT and everything. It made me realise I'm nowhere near the shape I need to be for this situation right now.
Yeah, I like the running thing that you did with the song. I think that's really, really good.
I got it off. It was a psychology thing that I was watching, and it was basically some psychologists were saying it's the best way to get yourself running and motivated, so then you can actually do it. Don't get me wrong, it worked like I could do it overnight, but to say I could now run for about half an hour straight, not sprinting, but at a decent pace, easily hit my targets when I need to with the Navy. And it really didn't take that long in reality.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's really good.
Awesome.
I mean, I must admit, I'm the same as you. I used to go to gym, but I think when it's really busy and you can't get on the machines that you want, it does me head in. So I'm the same as you guys. I can't cope with going to a gym when it's busy. So I think once I get ready to do it, because at the moment I've got my dog, so I get a lot of exercise to do my dog, and I play football. I've just signed up playing football with a group of lads in Darwin called Lads United, and they also have like sessions in Clitheroe as well, which is a really good set of lads. And they're going through a similar thing, a lot of them having issues and stuff, and it's just a really good outlet to just get involved, play the game, get a bit of frustrations out by kicking the ball, running around, and it's fab, like the whole physical aspect of just doing a bit more. It's really good, and it's really helped through lockdown as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, what position do you play then?
Well, I used to a long time ago, talking 20 odd years ago, I used to play up front in the midfield. But as I get slower, I've gone further and further back. So I'm now centre half, stroke goalkeeper. but it's good, there's no real positions. It's basically we just turn up, we do a bit of exercise, we warm up, and then we get straight into games. So it's literally like 5-a-side, 7-a-side. So you just basically run around the pitch and just go where you want. Scored a few goals. That's been quite good. But it's quite a good standard, But equally, if even if you're not very good at football, everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome, and it's a really good standard. We've got a couple of ex-professional footballers playing down there. A lad who used to play for Rovers called Chris Holland, and he used to play for Newcastle and Huddersfield. Absolute quality player. I mean, in his day, he was brilliant. He was like the next big thing. So he's down there. But it's a really good atmosphere. It's just good to be around like other lads that are going through similar things. And we've got a WhatsApp group, and you'll be surprised how many people are like that feel comfortable to talk about stuff. I don't want to name names, but there's people in there that have been opening up about feelings and what they've been going through recently. And it's just so refreshing that so many lads that really only just met each other in the last couple of months have bonded so quickly. And like me and you, Marcus and Josh, we started doing this with Shine, and now we're quite tight knit. So look out for each other. We're always like, "How are you doing? Are you keeping all right?" And I think that's a testament to what we've been through and what we're going through. So
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, that's like just touching on that then, like where you said like what we're going through and what we've been through, like. Yeah. But I think people like these days as well tend to think like, oh, he's had depression and then like he's not depressed anymore. But he's not depressed anymore because he'll be doing stuff, or he'll have people around him that like enable him to not, like it's like an ongoing, ever ongoing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I deal with my anger every day, so I just keep doing the same things that I learned through Shine, the different tips and techniques. And it really brings me down, it brings me back to reality where normally, well, what I would have done like 2 years ago is I would have gone from 0 to 100 in a flash. I wouldn't have thought about it. I wouldn't have even questioned it. I would have just done it. And everybody would have been on the receiving end of that. And it's not nice. It's not nice for me. It's not nice for them. And then, you feel guilty about what you've done. But now it's like, don't get me wrong. I still, from time to time, get a bit like frustrated and angry, but I'm in control of it now. I don't lose it anymore. I've not lost it for probably 12 months. Like, I can just deal with everything better. And it has a knock-on effect in your life, doesn't it? If you can control that, you look at everything else differently, I think. So everything that's happened has happened for a reason, and I'm reaping the rewards now. It's great.
Yeah, definitely. Like, even now though as well, I still get annoyed and or even so. Right, I was at this firewalking thing on Saturday, right, and she said that when you're stressed out, do you know like your witty replies and stuff like that? Say someone's taking the mick out of you. When you're stressed out, like I think she said it's your amygdala is like firing. Yeah, and that's the threat. The part of your brain that senses threats and stuff. So it inhibits your ability to reply with a witty remark. And
okay,
I've noticed as well that in in the past few months, like I'm more confident, but I can also like come back with wittier remarks. So you know when so I've got a day job as well for those that don't know who might be watching, and at work, you know, like it's a lads environment, like there's lads, and we just constantly take the mick out of each other. I'm like, there's a few of them, and they were like, yeah, I'm not too sure if we can swear on this, but you get the idea, right? And I can just come back with it, just like, bam, like whereas months ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that because I was in a completely different place mentally. And in January, I tried like I was close to taking my own life as well. So like that's like how far I've kind of come.
Wow.
But it feels pretty good to be able to say that as well.
Yeah, well, you know, hats off to you. You know, it's a big thing, isn't it? You know, and I didn't know about you. You know, it's you've come so bloody far, mate. You've done like fantastic. Yeah.
Cheers. Yeah, like I think like part of that as well is like the environment that we've got amongst ourselves, and like, you know, like when we're on the meetings and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And like,
do you get? I mean, I get a lot from it. I mean, I think we all get something from it. I think Josh is getting a lot from it now as well. You know, it's just helped knowing that we're a nice little team and we've all got each other's backs, haven't we? Can I just? How do the lads at your work feel about you having a bit of banter back with you now? Have they noticed the change as well?
So they did kind of mention something, but they were just like. So I'm going to paraphrase what he said, but I'm not too sure I'll be able to. That Fiona will be happy with me saying this, but what he said basically, you've been through a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm really proud of you. You know, like you can imagine what he kind of said, but And another lad said that, oh yeah, like you seem. You seemed a bit chirpier, I think he said, something like that. And it's just like little remarks like that.
Yeah, it's all the little signs, isn't it, that things are like getting like slightly better. So like Josh, you know, how would because obviously if you're like hoping, is it the Navy you're trying to like qualify for?
Yeah.
Like,
it's just waiting for my medical. Yeah,
how do you? Congratulations. How do you think you're gonna deal with that? You know, because obviously there's going to be a lot of banter flying around, and you know, how do you think you feel with that?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't really know, to be fair. I'm hoping it'll all go to plan, but you know, I know what I can be like at times, and that was the biggest thing that I actually told by my recruitment officer. Says you've got it. He actually said to me, says you've got it, because obviously he could already had a gist of what I've been through, what I've been like in the past, and he openly said to me, you know, you can't be saying wrong things to the wrong person once you get in there. You know, just as much as that, you don't need to say how else, but so it's one of them. I just have to get on with it, and if it isn't for me, you know, it's not like I can't just essentially walk out. I don't want to walk out, but you know, you can do if it's not for you. A lot of people do, to be fair, but everyone who I know that is in there. Because one of my best friends is already in the Navy, and then one of my other best friends, he's just on his leave at the minute from Army, and like both of them, it's like completely changed their lives around. And I wouldn't have put either of those into the bracket of people that I'd thought would have fit into those sort of lifestyles in reality, but we both really, really excelled in it.
It's going to be so good for you because, like, probably 20, 30 years ago, the Army would have been quite stereotypically like the old Army, but now it's changed. It's more modern. It's more approachable. You know, it's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are certain parts of it that's run like so rigid, but you know, it's not as bad as what it used to be. You know, so I think you're going to be on a very good little challenge going forward. It's going to, no doubt, it's going to test you, but I think you know you're in a good place. And the things that you've learned through Shine and like off us as well, you know, I think it'll hold you in good stead. And like I said, it's going to be good going forward. You know, you're going to get the chance to see the world, do a lot of things that like 90% of other people will never ever see or do. You know, I think that's and equally, you know, it's testament to you as well from where you've come from how you were, and now you're going to try and accomplish this challenge that you set for yourself. I think it's fantastic. I think you've done really, really well. I admire you for what you've done. You know, to come from where you were to where you're going to. I think it's fantastic. Really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd second that. I mean, like if you've looking at you from my point of view, I remember you in one of the meetings and you were like really shy and quiet, and then just seeing how you've come out of your shell a bit more and stuff, like you just seem so much more confident as well. So I hope.
I'm a murder for taking Inmate because I'm sat here and I've got a straight face and I just look solemn, but in reality, my mind just taking the information. I'm like a bit of a sponge. I just store everything. So it's one of them. Half the time, I've got a blank expression on my face, but there is someone behind it.
Well, well, I think we need a night out before you go, you know, and then maybe once you get through to it, we can give you a good send off and we'll give you a bit of banter to help you get going with it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think that'd be really good, yeah.
Right. Anyway, like, well, I feel like we've gone off a bit. So, like, right. How do you help Shine?
I give Shine as much time as I can. When I'd actually done the courses with him, I rang Fiona and just said, look, super grateful for what you've done. You know, you've given me the tools to help change my life. And that's what Shine has done with the coach, and it's changed my life. I'm a different person. So I felt it was just time to give something back. And I felt like if I could just reach one person and help one person open up to how they're feeling or speak about it, then I felt like it's something we can do, you know. And I felt like I'm not the only person out there, so I've just given Shine my time and just being a volunteer. I get a lot from it, you know. I get a lot back from just being a volunteer and being with you guys and seeing you guys and seeing what Shine does with. And the work is incredible, you know. What the coaches do, it's fantastic to get under the skin of people and figure out what's going on with them and what they can do to change that. You know, it's fab. So yeah. I'm on a journey with him, so I'm happy to go anywhere. If they do road shows, seminars, anything like that, I'm more than happy to help out, because, you know, if it's, like I said, we just reach one person and one person comes forward and talks about it, then that helps that person. Then that has like a domino effect, you know. So yeah, I just give a lot of time and I enjoy it.
Also, you don't know how far that person was, or how much that person was struggling with their mental health and how severe it was as well.
Yeah, so. It's. I mean, I think, and I don't know what you guys think. I think in the last 12 months, a lot of men are coming forward now. I think the COVID thing has brought it to a head, and like at work, I'm seeing a lot of people coming to me at work and talking to me, and like, because I've openly told them about what I've been through and how I'm feeling, and people's approach to me now is a bit different. You know, they're a bit more understanding, a bit more friendly, you know, and like I certainly got a lot more support, which is nice, you know, because we don't like to talk about this thing, do we? So
no, definitely not.
Yeah.
Right. Well, how I help Shine, or like how I started helping Shine anyway, was pretty similar to you. Like, I just finished my coaching sessions with my coach, and then I just kind of like just mentioned that, like, is there any sort of like volunteer roles or anything like that? And Leanne suggested that I write a blog for them and like a bit of a testimonial, so I did, and then started helping out doing some YouTube workout videos and stuff like that. So, and then I think we were doing the Zoom meetings as well.
Yes.
I think, yeah. And then during lockdown, I was well, not during lockdown. So recently, I managed to stab myself in the leg, and I couldn't really walk or do anything. So I got a bit bored, and I asked if there's anything else that I can be doing for Shine. and then we stumbled upon this idea. So that's pretty much everything that I do. Josh?
I just do any form of spreadsheets, charts, stats for anyone that's behind the scenes at Shine. Whatever they need. Obviously, I still attend all Zoom meetings and everything, but when it comes to like ideas and things like that, as I'm sure you can tell, I'm not much of an ideas man. I'm a bit of a droid. Just tell me what to do, I'll do it. So I'm just happy with things like that.
I think it's a good mix though, isn't it? We've got, because I see you two as like really good tech guys that can like do YouTube and like spreadsheets and everything else. I'm not that side. I can knock some ideas out and just give support. So I think we've got quite a nice mix across the group of volunteers.
Like, do you know, I'd agree with that as well, because every time, one thing I've noticed about in the meetings, the Zoom meetings that we do, right, like you and Aaron, so Lee and Aaron are always kind of like really vocal and, like can really always speak up and they've got good ideas. And then there's me and Josh and just kind of like sometimes I'll talk, but then there's me, normally like me and Josh are just like really quiet. Just don't really say anything.
I don't tend to talk unless I'm spoken to.
You're not as quiet as what you used to. You both, and yeah, again, I think that's testament to the coaching, because you're both coming forward more and talking more. So it's all progression, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does make me laugh, and you're like, "I want to do a YouTube video." I'm like, I have no idea how to do a YouTube video. I can watch YouTube. I will not know how to post a video to YouTube. Yeah, I'm just not techie. So I think all our skills combined are just like a real benefit to Shine and everybody else coming on board. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. So what would be your, how do I word it now? But basically, what would be your favorite quote for like getting through tough times?
That's a difficult one. A quote.
So yeah, I've got loads.
Yeah.
Right. So like, for example, like I used to always feel like I was really stupid and stuff at school. And then I saw this quote, I think it's by Albert Einstein. And he said, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll always think it's stupid.
Yeah.
And then I got into the gym and I started lifting weights. And I was like, I actually realised.
Yeah, that's quite.
Like,
Do you know any quotes, Josh? Well, I just try and think of something.
No, so I don't really have a quote. The only way I make myself feel better or like that is I just think I'm not living in a third world country. I've got an house, I put my life into sort of comparison to what other people are going through throughout the world, and I realise in reality I don't have that much going on. Don't matter how bad I feel about myself. There's a lot of people out there, millions, maybe billions, that have got it 10 times worse than me.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually.
I mean, the only quote I can think of is like the old school motto from secondary school, which is going back a lot of years, and it was "Learn to live and live to learn," which I think is quite apt considering what I've been through and what we're going through with Shine. Because obviously I've had to unpick my life. I've had to learn new things so I can live my life. And then now I'm living my life. So I need to keep learning, to keep improving and keep my mental health where I need it to be. So yeah, so that's mine. Learn to live and live to learn.
Yeah. What else? Josh just reminded me of one. And it was basically, if you change the way you look at something, you change the thing that you're looking at.
Yeah.
So like if you change your perspective, if you put things into perspective as to what's actually going on, it's not actually that bad. But I guess if you're like feeling really anxious about something, then it's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I agree with that.
We're
ready for that. A tough question, that.
Yeah, it just popped into my head actually. Right, so then following on from that, then, is there a favorite film or a favorite song that you listen to whenever you're feeling anxious, or maybe you say you're in the gym, you know, like say you're going for a run? Is there a favorite song that keeps you motivated?
Go on, Josh, you can do this one. You can go first.
But really, no, I just listen to my playlist, and it's got that many songs in it now. It could be any one of them, but my music choice is that wide array that in reality I can't even pick one if I wanted, because I listen to anything.
Yeah.
I don't even have a favorite song, I don't think.
I'll say, right. So there's a song that I'm listening to at the minute, right, and it's a remix by DJs from Mars, right? So you'll be able to find it on YouTube or whatever. But it's DJs from Mars, and it's Dua Lipa's "Levitating." So they basically, huh?
Okay, I'll Google that after YouTube it. Is it a recent one or an old one?
No, it's fairly recent, but it's like it's a dancey song though.
Yeah,
It's not like a yeah, definitely. Or I like listening to do you know like Ace Black Betty?
Yeah.
You know, like just stuff like that. Like, or I watched like 300.
Yeah.
You know, like, which was a brilliant film as well. But then the one after was terrible.
Yeah.
So,
I think for me, I like so so I was too young to go to the illegal raves like back in the early 90s. But so I left school in 94. Yeah. So I was just out of that, but I used to go clubbing quite a lot to like raves and stuff in Manchester. So I like old school house. At the moment, I've actually done something quite techy. I've downloaded an app, and it's called Old School Anthems, and it's literally just back to back old records. And do you know what? They're all really uplifting, and I have it on in the morning and coming home from work. So it's like if I'm driving past someone at like 6 in the morning, this old school music like blaring out, and I'm about to thinking, what the hell is going on in there? Oh, it's just great. It really picks me up, and it takes me back to a time in my life where, like, I had no bills, I had plenty of money. Not that I don't now, but I was carefree. I was young. I just didn't care, and it kind of takes me back to that. I think that's why it really lifts me up, because it takes me back to when I was a young adult, just so carefree and not giving a damn about anything. Yeah. And like, I think a lot of that just like reminisces. So I listen to a lot of Oasis and stuff like that, so that takes me back. But movies wise, I like something that makes me think. I like Inception. I like quite a lot of like thinking films and stuff. But equally, I'm not crazy, but I like the films that wind me up.
Why?
Just like I don't know, it's like a crime thriller. And what were I watching the other night? The Gift. And this woman's walking around this house and the lights off. Like, is she not going to turn the lights on? Like, So it's stuff. I love watching stuff like because it gets me. It keeps me like where I need to be. Yeah. So.
Is that zombie one?
No, it's about. So it's basic. Without spoilers. Basically. so basically. It's this couple, they moved from Chicago to another part of the States, and this guy's got a job. And he bumps into this guy that's like went to school with. And this guy he seems a bit creepy. He keeps turning up at their house, leaving gifts and stuff. But anyway, it turns out he's a bit of a strange character. Anyway, long story short, he was traumatized as a child, and basically the person who traumatized him was this guy who just moved. So he ends up getting a load of revenge on him, and it's quite like psychological and twisted. And it's like it's my thing. I like all that, but I get wound up. It's like, come on, how can you not see what he's doing? So yeah.
Like if there's mistakes and stuff like that. Like I have to. I don't know what it is within me, but I just can't like not say it. I just have to like. Even if I put my hand in front of my mouth and I'm like, like mumble it or something, like I have to say it. Like it frustrates me. Like, or like take Lord of the Rings, right? Big Lord of the Rings fan, right? Why didn't the Eagles just take the hobbits from the Shire to Mordor, and then the whole thing would have been done?
Yeah, rather than it being 4 hours of film, it would have been 2.5 hours tops.
Yeah, like madness. But Josh, is there anything else?
As in, like,
Have you got a favourite film?
once again, I just watch whatever's on Netflix. So I've probably watched every title on there with about the time I have on my hands. But
Fair enough.
favourite film.
Well, Lee,
To be fair, I like any film by Rob Zombie, but I don't know if you'd do
Oh,
it either.
Yeah.
who's that?
Like House of a Thousand Corpses,
Never.
Salem.
Oh, okay.
There's another, and I can't remember what it's called. It's basically a spin-off from House of a Thousand Corpses, the family in that. I can't remember, but yeah, I like any of his films.
Nice.
If anything, I'd probably say they were some of my favourites.
Cool.
I'd recommend watching Layer Cake if you like films that make you think as well, by the way.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I love, like, it just gets the mind going. That's what I think. And it's just, the more twists. Have you seen Tenant yet?
No, I haven't.
That's too much for me, that. And I like complicated films. Even I give up with that.
Is it the one where they're catching the bullet?
Yes. Yeah. It's by it's one of my favourite directors. He did Dark Knight and he did Inception, Christopher Nolan, but it's just lots of twists and turns, probably more than what. Yeah, I should actually go on YouTube and find out what it's all about. I've seen it twice. I went to the cinema twice to watch it. Like, yeah, still no better for that. Yeah. Oh, just another one on music. I like classical stuff. So one of the things that on my bucket list, I wanted to go to London to the Remembrance Sunday thing, and I went there and like near the cenotaph, and there's a piece of music called Nimrod, and I think it's on the end of Dunkirk. It's just such a poignant piece of music, and that really gets me. It just really invigorates and like lifts you up. So quite a wide range of music.
Yeah.
Old school.
Here's a question for you then, right? Insomnia or Adagio for strings?
Oh yeah. Can't go wrong with them. They're I've still got loads of vinyl, so yeah. I'm not letting go of my old school, but yeah, the old rave days. But yeah, Nimrod. If you get a chance, YouTube Nimrod and just listen to it with your speakers on. It's fabulous. Like fabulous thing.
All right, right. Well, I think we'll leave it there for tonight, guys. But thanks for your time, and I'll see you at the next meeting.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Good to see you all anyway.
Yeah.
See you, Tim.
Bye.